So it's day 8 of the cleanse. Yesterday, a lot happened. A lot of profound things happened. Today has been a bit more, just motoring along now. A couple of days to go. Still, there's a few things where I was like, that's unusual. First one being a bit of a movement, if you know what I mean. Which, when you think I've not eaten, I've had one meal in 8 days. That's just goes to show you how much stuff you're holding on to. And if you do try this, you'll be surprised what's lurking, let's say. So that was interesting. My Achilles were aching a little bit today, but again, compared to last week and the week before that, it's got incrementally better over time. So that's a good thing to measure on the journey. There's clearly things going on there. I've tried to stretch, not for like an hour, just in between doing things. Truth be told, with my framework, I've not been that diligent in following it. I followed most of it, but I could have done a lot better in that regard. And actually, I may have got more outcomes had I done that. However, it's not about perfection. It's about getting it done and using the tools at your disposal to get things done. The main thing is I've not crashed, no cravings, so that's good. But yeah, yesterday was much more intense. Today has been a little bit more somber. Good conversation, exchanging WhatsApp voice notes with a very close friend of mine, my closest friend, just talking about some deep things, which again, really powerful to have somebody to exchange knowledge with, because they have a different perspective and then that can help inform your perspective. One thing, I didn't crave coffee as well actually, so that was unusual. Typically I get up and I want a coffee and I have like 2 or 3 a day, so I didn't have a coffee in the morning either, which again is a big win because I know how addictive coffee is. So I've only had 1 of those today, which is great, and then I've not really craved another, so I'm happy about that. It just goes to show one realisation I've had about addictions and bad habits. It's hard to put them down if you try and do it by force. However, if you do enough of the right things, the good things, the healthy things, you tend to let go of the bad things, and that's a much cleaner way and holistic way of addressing these things, because then you don't have that battle. So that's something I've realised, and it's also liberating to realise that, because then what you do is you understand that you don't need to beat yourself with a stick for bad habits, because the way to cure yourself from them is just go through the process and be aggressive with the health stuff. So that's a nice realisation to have. The other thing, the smoking's still a challenge, still working on that. So it just shows you how addictive that is. The drink hasn't been a problem. The drink's not been a problem. I've not really missed it. I've had 1 day where I fancied a beer because I've got one in the fridge, but that was because it was a match day. It's a habit, but I just told myself no. I had a cup of tea and that were it. Not even look back on that. One thing I was thinking about when it comes to truth is it's murderous, and what I mean by that, it reflects in society as a whole. A lot of people get murdered for the truth, and to be honest with yourself, you have to kill facets of your being that are very difficult to kill, and it does change you. And that's why I say the truth, to embody the truth, you have to be ruthless with it. You have to be honest. And the thing is as well, you can't get the toothpaste back in the tube. Once you've learnt something, you can't unsee it. Therefore, it becomes harder to lie to yourself about it. And that's why I think we have more and more distractions, because we don't want to admit our certain truths. So that's something that's been interesting to realise. Very productive work-wise. So my first juice of the day was grapefruit, orange, lemons and limes, and I had like just under a litre of that, and that did me good. I had some coconut water before that with cleansing herbs, and then the juice with some enzymes, and then later on I had the beauty juice, which again, that's solid. It's a solid drink, you know, with the beetroot and the carrot, the roots which are grounding, and then you've got the herbs in there, mint, coriander, some spinach for the leafy greens, and then a couple of sweetness with the apples, and then you've also got the ginger and turmeric as well, which are the anti-inflammatories. So good balanced juice that is, and mix it with the coconut water so it's more palatable. That's again stress when any juice you're having. It's taken me years to realise this. It's only recently I've discovered it, but diluting it with coconut water or distilled water, watermelon, something along those lines that's got a high content of water percentage wise is really, really valuable. So that's something else that's become a staple now in terms of how I do my juicing, and the beauty of that is it extends the juice, so you're getting more out of your juice as well because of the volumes increase. So that's really, really useful. Work wise, I produce content. Part of the reason I like to do this channel is because it keeps me engaged in building content, because it aligns well with my business, and the more you do things the better you get at them. So it's just a no-brainer to keep consistent with it. Had some positive meetings though today still, which is good. To do part of my job, there's a bit of cold calling still to do, that's been a grind today. Not some days with that, if anyone's ever done it before, you can feel like you're in flow and every call's powerful, and then some days it's just, you just feel like, this is just something, it's a war of attrition, get it done, move on with your life. So that's been a little bit tough, but I can tell when I'm on the phone I'm commanding presence, the voice is resonating, it feels like it's deeper actually, and that's probably from the retention. I mentioned the importance of retention and the impact that has on you, and it does definitely have that impact on you. One thing I was reflecting on is I woke up this morning about 6:30, so yesterday I had paddle and my body woke up bang on time for it, as if I were tuned in 2 minutes before my alarm clock. So that was interesting, and whereas today it's almost like my body knew I didn't have to get up early, therefore I didn't wake up early, I just got the necessary amount of sleep. So that's funny how your body does that. What I have realised though is my energy levels are not as high today, and I think it's from doing the paddle yesterday. The recovery's a little bit longer because you're not getting the dense foods and the meals, protein, all that kind of stuff. So that's fine, like I understand that's just par for the course, you've got to keep it moving. So today's just been motoring along. I have been productive, non-stop work, I haven't had any crashes, which I've had a few days on this cleanse, so I've not been napping, I've literally been working all day. So I suppose that is a good thing when I reflect on it, even though it hasn't felt like as profound a day as yesterday. It's been good in terms of, you know, operating in like fourth gear, for example, and getting stuff done and catching up on things and getting stuff that I needed to do done on time, which is really important, because if not, you end up with a backlog in what I'm doing. So there's still momentum there. Day 8, I've had no cravings, which is good, and again, it just reinforces the fact that the volume of juice dictates how addicted, well, the impact it has on you. So the addictions go. See, other than that, not really much else to report. Just flowing through now. Can see the finish line, which is great. Still open to extending it because I've got a window to do it. I've got no social commitments, so I'll see how I feel on day 10. It's funny though, because I've had one meal in 8 days and realised how heavy I was, because I'm still carrying a lot of body fat really. So there's still a lot of work to do. So even beyond this cleanse, I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do next, whether I do another challenge and just put it off on the back of this one. That's what I'm thinking, and keep the momentum. And the good thing about doing these daily uploads, it's probably helped enable me to stick at it, because it's keeping me accountable. Even though there's only a few people that are checking in and looking at the video, it's still interesting, the fact that there might be somebody out there that's watching it and thinking, oh, I might do this. So it's like you don't want to let strangers down now, which is weird, but it's good. So I'm trying to take the positive from doing this and making sure I'm consistent. Even today I was like, oh, I'm a little bit tired, I don't want to upload today, but I'm going to get it done. Discipline, it's good for the brain as well to kind of create that habit, doing something without, like, it's not as, yesterday I couldn't wait to have a little rift, but today has been just honouring the process, which is good as well, because even as I speak about things, I think about things that are valuable on this process, so I'm happy about that. And then just looking to get to the finish line now. I'm going to get to bed early, I'm going to rest again tomorrow. I think I've got sparring booked in on Saturday, so that's great. So just take time, realise the exercise does take it out of you, especially if it's high intensity. So if you are going to do this, if you don't have any commitments where you need to have a high intensity with your exercise, then it will help. I think you're best to slow, doesn't have to be full throttle stuff, but I'm just aligned with that, and I don't want to lose momentum in things like paddle and the opportunity to box, and the fact that yesterday things surfaced where multiple people want to do the sparring on Saturday morning, so I'm not going to miss that window because it's not happened for years. And I'm also interested to see how I feel during sparring. One thing you have to do during paddle is when you're doing a lot of running, sprinting, and obviously when you're carrying excess weight, you get out of breath quickly, but you need your oxygen in your body. Like you have to consciously breathe from time to time so that you stay on top of things. So you are very tuned in and feeling good, but you're also, it's like you can't go full throttle for very long is what I'm saying. It's like an even, and I think that's to do with ketosis anyway. So good day, still going, not really much to report, few little insights, few little discoveries, work's productive, see some progressions, but not as profound as yesterday. It's like I'm disappointed about it, but actually it should be like this every day. Yesterday shouldn't be the norm, today should be the norm. And if I didn't have yesterday, I'd probably look at today and say it was a really good day. So even there's a lesson to be had there about perspectives and how expectations change very quickly, and your perspectives dictated by your previous experience, which is something I've talked about in terms of negative stuff and how you create a world view based on that. So you have to just remain conscious, really aware of these things, and understand it's a process, and actually you're there to observe all these thoughts and feelings and experiences. You aren't them, so you don't identify with them, you just observe them, almost like you're looking down on yourself in a way, metaphorically speaking, and just observing it and orchestrating where possible or where you need to, but flowing where you can. And then it always comes down to balance. So I'll let you know.